recently, a lot of you have been messaging me telling me to do a video just like this one. So that's what I'm doing. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my first travel experience, all of the countries I've been to date, and where I'm going next. My first real travel experience was in Paraguay, South America. Now what I mean by real travel experience is actually immersing yourself in the culture, living and breathing it. The high school I went to specifically sent students to Paraguay, South America. So during my last year of high school, I met these incredible exchange students who had come from all over different Latin countries, and I became really close friends with them. And that's also when I became really close friends with Sia. Now Sia had already gone on the exchange program a couple of years previous. So when he was 16, he went and he did this. So I learned all about the program from Sia, and I also became really interested in the Latin culture because of all these new friends that I had made. So I knew, even though I was in my last year of high school and I was going to be graduating, instead of going to college or university right away, I decided to go back to high school to just take some extra courses, but basically because I wanted to take part in this exchange program. So when I was 18 years old, I flew all the way to South America for the first time, and I lived in Paraguay for 4 months. I lived with a couple of exchange families, so basically they took me in and I became one of them. During the first couple of weeks, I had intense Spanish lessons. After those couple of weeks where I learned just some basic Spanish, so I could at least say I'm hungry or where's the washroom or hello, how are you? I started my work placement, which was in a couple of schools. I taught in this school that was run by volunteers for underprivileged children. And then I would teach in another school that was for private students. It was a private school where the parents had to pay. So two very different experiences, but I'm glad I got to experience both. I learned a lot about patience, definitely. And I had a lot of fun playing with the kids and teaching them and have them laugh at me because I had no idea what they were saying, especially at the beginning of my time in Paraguay. I didn't know any Spanish. I knew like how to say hello, and that was it. But even though they were making fun of me at the beginning, 2 months in, they weren't making fun of me anymore. They were actually like, oh my God, she understands what we're saying and she's responding. We better watch out what we're saying then. How I learned Spanish was the first month, I would just talk to everyone and anyone, and I would study for 2 hours a day, and I'd watch Spanish talk shows and movies and read the subtitles, and I just tried to do anything because I really wanted to learn the language. So about a month in, I was starting to pick up a lot of words and kind of understand the basics. My head was pounding because I was trying to learn so fast, and I went to bed probably around 7 every night. By the end of the second month, I could understand quite a bit, and I could basically say almost anything I wanted in one way. Third month, I was understanding basically everything, and I could say anything, at least in one way or 2 ways. By the end of the fourth month, I was dreaming and thinking in Spanish. So by the time I got back home, I was accidentally speaking in Spanish. I remember walking through Costco with my parents, and somebody bumped into me, or I bumped into somebody, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, excuse me, in Spanish, and it just came out. And then it made me sad because I had just gone through this drastic experience where I was living in another country with a different family, and all of a sudden I was brought back and I started speaking Spanish, and people were like, huh? What is she saying? Deciding to stay back an extra year and take part in that exchange program instead of going right to college was the best decision I have ever made, because that experience in Paraguay has shaped who I am today and has given me every single opportunity that I have gotten to date, and I'm sure that will continue on down the road. Because of my Paraguay experience, I got this incredible scholarship which funded my college. And the reason why I got the scholarship was mainly because I had done all the volunteer work in Paraguay, and also because when I was in Paraguay, I got that travel bug. That is when it happened, and I knew that I was gonna spend the rest of my life traveling the world. So I started planning a trip right after when I returned home from Paraguay to go to Peru with Sia, which is where we filmed our documentary. But before I had left was when I was competing to get the scholarship. So that idea that I wanted to I was inspired so much in Paraguay and I wanted to keep on traveling, so I was going to make a documentary in Peru combined with my volunteer work, is what got me the scholarship. So now that my college was being funded by the scholarship, the money that I did save, I was able to spend in the summer on travel. Plus, the scholarship required me to go abroad in the summer, completely funded by them, to do a work placement once again. Incredible. So that's how I ended up going to Ghana and working in a TV studio. That same summer that I went to Ghana, I also went to Italy and I took a road trip across Sicily, and then I went to Tunisia with my mom and Sia. And also during my college years, I went back to Paraguay to see one of my best friends get married. And I also went to Brazil. I also went to Brazil the first time. I went to Paraguay too. Once I graduated from college, I decided to take a year and a half to live in Toronto and work in my field so I can get an experience and build a name for myself. So I graduated from TV and film production. So then I started working for MTV and Much Music and a few other production companies. For a year and a half, I worked in my field. I also did a serving job and I worked for G Adventures, which used to be called Gap Adventures. Now it's G Adventures. It's an adventure travel company. They have incredible tours. And I was working for them, and while I was working for them, I was sitting behind a computer helping people plan their trips, and I just wanted to be on those trips. So after a year and a half of saving money and working my butt off, I decided to travel for 10 months. But before I left, I created a little blog called Hopscotch the Globe. I spent a month and a half learning how to build a website and design a website and create a logo and all the stuff that I need to do, and I started going to these travel massives in Toronto, which is a group of bloggers that get together, travel bloggers that get together every month and discuss ideas and just have fun and talk travel. So I was getting more and more inspired and motivated and learning how I can run a blog. Originally, I created the blog because I wanted my friends and family to see what I was up to and where I was in the world. Then all of a sudden I started getting these incredible emails from you guys saying how much I've inspired them or asking me questions about certain places. I was like, wow, this could lead to something else. And it has. So all of a sudden, Hopscotch the Globe kind of blew up, and it has given me so many incredible opportunities. I started off just writing and making little videos here and there, but because my background is in video production and I love video, I love editing, and I love being in front of the camera, as you know. So I decided to, instead of just writing, do more video. And now it's kind of become mostly video with a little bit of writing, and I like it like that. That 10-month trip, I went to England, Iceland, India, and then I met up with Sia 3 months in Thailand, and we did Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, and we went back to Thailand a few times. And then we were gonna do Laos and Vietnam, but I was talking to him about India and how much I loved it, so we decided to skip Vietnam and Laos and go back to India. So we went to India, and then we went to Morocco, and then we flew to Turkey and met my mom there, and then us three did Turkey and Greece, and then I came back home. Water break. Oh, so much better. Where were we? Yes. So, back to Canada. So I'm back in Canada, and I decide that I want to take Hopscotch the Globe to the next level. So I had become more involved with the Toronto Travel Massive, that group of bloggers that gets together every month. So I continue writing, I get some freelance gigs, and then I keep thinking, I want to do more video. So that's when I started my YouTube channel. So since I came back from that big trip and continued to grow Hopscotch the Globe, I've gotten some incredible opportunities because of it. And since then I have been to various places in the States, been to Puerto Rico, I've been to Mexico a couple of times, I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Belize, I've been to, oh my gosh, I forget. I feel like I'm forgetting places, I can't even remember. That's a good thing to not remember. Curacao, there we go. I'm sure more will come back to me and I'll just blurt them out throughout the rest of this video. Because of Hopscotch the Globe, I got all those opportunities to travel to all those amazing countries and meet incredible people, and it just keeps getting better and better. And I decided that I wanted to do more video about a year ago, so that's when I got involved with this YouTube channel. It's been here for like a couple of years, but I had like a couple videos here and there. But I started to really focus on YouTube and making travel videos rather than writing about a year ago, and now I have almost, I think, 5,000 of you here who share the same passion for travel and adventure, and we have this little community where we can inspire each other and just talk travel nonstop and how wonderful it is and share experiences, and I just love it here, and I hope to continue doing this for a very, very long time, like a lifetime. And I really hope that you all stick around and continue to inspire me, and we continue to inspire each other to keep exploring this wonderful, incredible, magical world we live in. What I'm trying to say is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching my videos, for reading my blog posts, for supporting me, and for helping me build this incredible community that we have here of travel junkies, and for inspiring me and letting me inspire you to get out there and explore this wonderful, magical world we live in. Now, where am I heading next? It is now officially 2014, and I'm sure you're wondering what I have planned this year. Well, since I'm very spontaneous, I don't plan too much ahead, but I am going to be going to Jasper in a couple of weeks. I have not explored Canada. I'm from Canada. I've been to so many countries around the world, but I haven't even seen my own. I think it's time. So I'm heading to Jasper to experience the Jasper in January festival, and I'm gonna be learning how to snowboard and ice climbing and a bunch of other fun things. And of course, I'm taking you with me. And then I'm heading to Barbados with Sia, so I'm going from cold to hot. And then, I'm not too sure, but I have a few places on my radar. I really want to make it to Japan this year. I am going to be heading to either Guatemala, renting an RV, and going to Burning Man. These are all ideas. Also Scotland, Australia, New Zealand. These are all ideas, and they'll probably happen this year. Of course, things could change and I'll end up going somewhere else like Mongolia or something, which would be awesome. Honestly, I am not sure besides Jasper and Barbados to date, because those are happening in a couple of weeks, but there is gonna be a lot of travel this year. Now, I wanna know, what was your first travel experience and where are you heading to next? Leave your answers in the comment box below. Now, since I decided to make this a tag video, I am tagging Nadine from Hey Nadine and Louie from Fun for Louie to share their first travel experiences with us. Until next time, adventurers, happy travels!